Now at 9, KDOT is dealing with a shortage of snowplow drivers ahead of the winter. We're going to hear what they're doing to make sure roads are getting cleared.
President Biden signs the bipartisan infrastructure deal into law. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have more on what that means for U.S. cities and states coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. A Joplin man died after being hit by a semi in Ottawa County, Oklahoma. Oklahoma State Highway Patrol says 35-year-old Austin Jordan had parked his car along the shoulder on Will Rogers Turnpike, 13 miles east of Miami. While he was outside of his car, he was hit by a semi-truck. He was pronounced dead at the scene. All right, Doug Heddy joining us now. Firstly, the forecast. Windy earlier today, Doug.
It was a little breezy, but those southerly winds helped our temperatures warm up as we worked through the daytime hours, which is always nice. Nearly 70 degrees, 10 degrees above our average. We started kind of chilly at about 40 during the morning hours, but we have pretty much clear skies. We just have a few mid and upper level clouds, which have been rolling through. But in general, it looks pretty good, and we're pretty quiet for about the next 36 hours until we see our next storm system rolling in. Temperatures, not bad. Mid to upper 50s will drop back near 50 later on tonight. We're still going to have a light southerly wind for us tonight, kind of keeping those temperatures up just a little bit through the overnight hours. We'll start at 50, 58 by 10. Check this out. 74 tomorrow afternoon, but changes down the road. We'll look at that here in just a bit.
Random question for you, Doug. When do you think we're going to get our first snowfall?
3 weeks.
All right. So something to keep in mind when we get a significant amount of snow. A shortage of snowplow drivers means getting around in snowy weather this winter may be a bit more difficult. KOM's Chris Warner spoke with an official at KDOT about this situation. Chris says more.
KDOT officials say its workforce is down 30% from where it should be. That could cause a problem when it comes to clearing roads this winter.
Well, it makes it more difficult. You know, we have these trucks, there's about 600 trucks statewide, and we staff them with one person per 12-hour shift. And when you don't have enough to staff both shifts, therefore you're not going to be able to clear the roads like you wish you can.
If KDOT doesn't have enough crews to keep the roads clear, that means commuters could be in for a headache when it snows.
It's going to make it more difficult for them to get around, and it's going to take longer to get things cleared off for us. It's going to make it harder for them to get from point A to point B. They're going to have to allot for time so they can get there safely.
Crane says they're trying a number of techniques to recruit new workers, from social media to using the electronic message boards that are typically used to sign detours or road closures.
Also, we are trying to hire people, temporary help, that have CDLs, and they'll come in and they'll just plow snow, basically just temporary through seasonal help.
Which brings Crane to another point. The shortage isn't just impacting the state's ability to clear roads of snow, it's impacting the state's ability to maintain those roads.
What we have to do now, since we're shorthanded, we might have to put 2 crews together to get enough people to do one job. So we are having to work together to get more done.
Crane says between an increasing number of retirees and a lack of applicants, it's beginning to have a significant impact across the state on services KDOT provides. I'm Chris Warner for KOAM News.
If you're interested in joining KDOT, we've got links to their job site in this story at KOAMnewsnow.com. MoDOT is experiencing a similar shortage. Officials there say 20% of its workforce has been on the job for less than a year. MoDOT Director Patricia McKinnon says they've had an average of 70 employees leave every month for the past 6 months, leading to a record high turnover rate. McKinnon adds MoDOT is hundreds of employees short of being fully staffed. She says if a winter storm were to last more than a single 12-hour shift, there wouldn't be enough employees to cover a second 12-hour shift, leading to, of course, delays in getting those roads cleared. Well, the Southeast Kansas Community Action Program is offering rental assistance to homeless residents. The program will begin accepting applications for the tenant-based rental assistance program on November 29th. Now, to qualify, applicants must be certified homeless or about to become homeless by a social service agency. Also, the applicant's income must be at or below 50% of the area median income in their county.
Just contact us if you have any questions, or if there's, if you're in any kind of spot. We have different programs here at CCAP that can help you, and we also have other connections outside the agency that many people might not be aware of that can also provide them assistance.
You can apply for the assistance online. We've provided a link to the application as well as a checklist on our website. Again, KOAMNewsNow.com. Missouri hunters killed more deer in the opening weekend of the firearms season this year compared to last year. Preliminary data from the Missouri Department of Conservation shows deer hunters in the Show Me State killed a little under 90,000 deer over the weekend of firearms season. Top 3 counties in Missouri for the number of deer taken were Franklin County, Texas County, also Benton County. Canadian Pacific Railway is one step closer to acquiring Kansas City Southern Railway. 2 companies filed an application with the Surface Transportation Board seeking authorization for the merger. The board will prepare an environmental impact statement before making a final decision. Missouri Health Department is giving nursing homes a legal pathway to temporarily shut down if they face staffing shortages because of a new federal mandate for healthcare workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19. An emergency rule from the State Department of Health and Senior Services would allow skilled nursing and immediate care facilities to close for up to 2 years if they are short-staffed because of the vaccine requirements. They could then reopen without having to start the licensure process from scratch. Missouri's nursing homes have some of the lowest COVID-19 vaccination rates in the nation. New COVID cases are down nationwide, but in some areas, though, a new surge could be just around the corner, with cases and hospitalizations both spiking. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Seary has more now from Atlanta.
This is really a critical moment in the pandemic.
Fears of a 5th nationwide COVID surge are growing. New cases are now spiking in at least 19 states, and hospitalizations are hitting pandemic records in many areas, including Minnesota, where non-essential surgeries are being delayed and healthcare providers are struggling to find beds for new COVID patients.
And I keep thinking we got to be at the peak here soon and we're going to turn down, but we're not.
Colorado, California, and New Mexico are now offering booster shots to all adults, despite FDA guidelines recommending boosters only for those over 65 or at high risk. Officials say the move is justified by the fast spread of the Delta variant, and they're now making a big push to get folks to roll up their sleeves again.
Everybody can get the booster. Everybody should get the booster. Please, if you got the vaccine 6 months or more ago, get your booster.
Meanwhile, the battle over vaccine mandates is heating up again. A federal appeals court refusing to lift a stay on President Biden's vaccine mandate for businesses with more than 100 workers. But the administration says it expects the courts to eventually give the green light because they claim precedent is on their side.
We've had requirements in various settings in our country since the founding of the United States of America, including in schools since the 1800s, workplaces like hospitals have had requirements for vaccines for years.
At least 27 states have now filed legal challenges to the nationwide mandate. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seary, Fox News.
It's been 10 days since the bipartisan infrastructure deal passed Congress, sending it to the president's desk, but the president held off signing the deal until today. Congress returned back from recess. Fox's Caroline Shively is in D.C. with more on the president's signing ceremony and his plans moving forward.
Okay, here we go.
40 days before Christmas, and President Biden delivered an early package to the American people, a $1.2 trillion infrastructure package to overhaul the nation's roads, bridges, airports, and water systems.
The bill I'm about to sign along is proof that despite the cynics, Democrats and Republicans can come together and deliver results.
At Monday's signing ceremony, the president praised the bipartisan deal, calling it an investment in America's future, one that will fund $65 billion to bolster the nation's broadband, as well as $7.5 billion to expand the nationwide network of plug-in electric vehicle chargers.
There are roads, bridges, ports, airports, and more around this country that have been waiting for years, often for decades, for the kinds of investments that we're finally going to be able to do.
But while the event included lawmakers from both sides of the aisle, as well as governors, mayors, and business leaders, some Republicans say the president's spending goes too far, particularly his broader social spending proposal costing another $1.85 trillion.
This is just a sweeping socialist wish list in search of a justification. It's another megadose of the same radical recklessness that Republicans have warned against all along.
President Biden announced former New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu will oversee implementation of the infrastructure deal. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
President Biden is still working to sell the American public on the infrastructure bill. Wednesday, he's going to make a stop at General Motors' electric vehicle assembly plant. KOM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Harold Kennedy served in the U.S. Air Force from 1963 to 1969. Native of Pitcher, Oklahoma, Kennedy was stationed in Guam. We are proud to thank and salute First Class Staff Sergeant Harold Kennedy. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug Kennedy's next with a complete look at the forecast. And a bit later, Pittsburgh's Ashley and Allie Marietta signing to continue their softball careers at the Division I level. Going to hear from the Colgan twins in sports.
Win up to $500 for...
Well, it turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. Temperature is great, right around 70 during the afternoon, which you really can't beat. And we had quite a bit of sunshine throughout the day, a little bit on the breezy side, but fantastic Monday, warmer than what we saw over the weekend. Great shot, great time lapse, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, cold front Wednesday. With it, we'll get some showers, colder temperatures. We should clear out for Thursday night, early Friday morning if you want to go outside and see the partial lunar eclipse. Starts around midnight-ish, ends about 6 a.m., so peakish around 3 a.m. And then getting ready for the winter forecast, which we're going to do December 2nd, so here in a couple weeks. The weekend was nice, a little chilly, mid-50s yesterday, and then we shot near 70 for us today, which was fantastic. Those southerly winds kind of helping our temps warm up. Most of us right now, mid to upper 50s. I think we'll only drop back right around 50 later on tonight. These kind of light southerly winds keeping our temperatures up, still at about 5 to 10 to 15 miles per hour, and then they're going to pick up a little bit again for us tomorrow. 57 south winds at 10, relative humidity at 59%. We do have some mid and upper level clouds which have been streaming through, but in general, we look pretty good. We still have mostly clear skies, not much going on here across the Central Plains, but here's our next storm system. You can see our jet stream kind of rides up and dives down into the central parts of the plain. So this wave will affect us on Wednesday. Not a lot of moisture, but it will drag through a pretty strong cold front here in about 36 hours or so. Let's go through time tonight. We look good. We drop back near 50. Some clouds increase tomorrow, but we're going to warm up into the 70s, about 70 by noon, and we should go into the mid 70s during the afternoon. Here's your day planner, starting at 50, 69 by noon, high temp at 74, south winds 5 to 15, but at times we may get gusts 20 to 25 during the afternoon. But it looks like a pretty good day. Clouds increase tomorrow night, and then by Wednesday morning, so here's early Wednesday morning, you can see our cold front, some showers trying to develop along it. It sinks in. Here's 8 a.m. on Wednesday. We're ahead of it into the mid 60s. The front passes through. By about the noon hour, we get some on and off light showers, and then our temperatures start to tumble as we go into the afternoon and into the evening. So we'll go from mid 60s into the 40s by the time the evening hours roll around. Clouds will start to break up, and then kind of cold Thursday night or Thursday morning as we drop back near freezing for overnight lows. But besides that, a pretty quiet week. 74 tomorrow, 66, and dropping Wednesday. Only 50 on Thursday, back to 57 on Friday. 60s again Saturday, cooling back down by Sunday with a few random showers during the weekend.
60 degrees at nighttime. That's very unusual.
Yeah, not bad.
I would take it though.
Yeah.
Doug, thank you. We'll catch you in a little bit. Well, for thousands of active military members and their families, hunger is a reality. Food insecurity among military families is a hidden crisis that has long existed even before COVID-19, but this pandemic has made the issue exceptionally worse. Feeding America, which works with more than 200 food banks across the country, estimates that up to 160,000 active service members are struggling to put food on the table. Now, a stable source of food is especially worrisome for many four-staters this year because of inflation. This is Fox 14's 18th annual Feed the Four States food drive. We are collecting non-perishable food items at Wesco Home Furnishing stores in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, also Phelan Dermatology and Tropical Tan in Joplin. Donations will help stock the shelves of area food pantries like Cross Lines, also Wesley House during this season of high demand. You can also give online monetarily over at komnewsnow.com/feed. Food drive will continue until December 31st. Monetary donations can be stretched to provide 4 meals per dollar. So please Donate what you can, and we thank you. Coming up, the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
The 2-week murder trial of Kyle Rittenhouse is nearing its conclusion. I'm Mather Rivera in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and I'll have more on that ahead.
Tuesday morning, we visit with the cast of
Mattress.
Former Trump advisor Steve Bannon surrendering to federal authorities today in Washington. Bannon is facing 2 charges of contempt of Congress. On Friday, federal grand jury indicted the 67-year-old former top aide to President Trump for refusing to answer questions from the House committee investigating the Capitol riot that took place back on January 6. Bannon left his position in the Trump administration in August of 2017, but he was still informally advising Mr. Trump after he lost the election. Bannon was released on his own reconnaissance after surrendering his passport. The former Trump advisor is due back in court on Thursday. Jury deliberations are set to begin tomorrow morning after a long day of final arguments in the high-profile murder trial of 18-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has details from outside the courthouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Closing arguments wrapped up in a Kenosha, Wisconsin courtroom as a verdict nears in the trial of 18-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse. Prosecutors and defense attorneys made their final pitches to jurors Monday.
This is a case in which a 17-year-old teenager killed 2 unarmed men and severely wounded a third person with an AR-15 that did not belong to him.
The state standing firm with their argument that Kyle Rittenhouse was the aggressor when he killed 2 men and wounded another during a protest following the police shooting of Jacob Blake last summer in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Prosecutors showing additional evidence, including a graphic video of Joseph Rosenbaum after he was shot 4 times at the hands of Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse's attorneys say Rosenbaum charged toward their client, forcing him to defend himself.
We don't play fast and loose with the facts, pretending that Mr. Rosenbaum was Citizen A, he was a rioter.
Ultimately, it will be up to the jury to decide the fate of Rittenhouse.
If he was acting lawfully in self-defense, the ball game's over.
The National Guard is on standby, and the White House says they will monitor the situation in Kenosha.
And does the White House or the president have any message to those who may stir up trouble?
We're here to provide support, and beyond that, certainly we are hopeful that any protest will be peaceful.
On Monday, Judge Bruce Schroeder dismissed a misdemeanor charge of illegally possessing a dangerous weapon as a minor. Rittenhouse faces life in prison if convicted of the most serious felony charge against him. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
All right, going to check out some more toy trends, giving more insight into what's hot, what's not for Christmas.
At Landmark Hospital today.
If you're not waiting for those Black Friday or Cyber Monday deals to get those gifts for the kiddos this holiday, we check out some toys trending already this season. Plus, we look at how shipping and supply concerns are affecting the toy industry. A few tips for early shoppers as well. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Holiday shopping has begun, and for those perusing the toy section, editor-in-chief of the Toy Insider, Ali Merjeski, shares what's trending, starting with those going viral.
One of the biggest stars of social media is the cats versus pickles. So we have these cute little collectibles.
Let's check Blue's heartbeat.
So when I grew up, toys are all about kids being aspirational. So this is a lot of hometown heroes. It's also any kind of job that they can have. So one of my favorites this year is the Blue's Clues and You Checkup Time Blue from Just Play.
Educational toys are popular.
A great option for a gift this year is a subscription to ABC Mouse. It's this learning portal that kids can go through and play different games.
There's also Family Game Night.
What do you mean Family Edition? This is SpongeBob Edition.
And there's a trend they call In My Feelings.
This is a lot of toys that are focusing on social emotional learning.
Shipping delays and supply shortages are affecting the toy industry and prices.
Consumers should go in already expecting to spend a few more dollars with some price increases because of the manufacturing prices increasing.
One tip, watch where you shop.
With the price hikes going up anyway, you're also going to see an uptick in a lot of third-party sellers that are selling them for way too much money.
And it may pay to go pick up those gifts versus going online.
You don't have to navigate around those delivery dates. This year, of course, too, with the labor shortages. But also we talked to some toy manufacturers, and they're expecting that the stocks in store are actually better than the stock online.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
So a few people scored a really delicious awesome pie for the upcoming big dinner. More on this Reese's pie. Yeah, when we come back.
When you get
Sesame Street making history as it debuts its first Asian American Muppet. 70-year-old Ji Young, a Korean American, is the newest resident of Sesame Street. She says her passions are rock music and skateboarding. Now, some of her personality comes from her puppeteer, Kathleen Kim, who is also Korean American. Folks over at Hershey giving a select few a little something extra to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. Reese's unveiling a special Thanksgiving treat today. Oh man, look at that. Peanut butter cup the size of a 9-inch pie, making it the largest Reese's peanut butter cup for sale. Only 3,000 of the pies were made though. They were on sale online only at a price of $44.99. Sold out soon after they went up for sale. We're talking less than a day, right? They were sold out today. $44 for that thing. You'd have to make sure that the tummy and the head were thinking separately, right? I would have a problem with that, I'll admit. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming your way.
Quick thinking by a British cab driver might have saved lives in a terror attack on Sunday. I'm Greg Palcott in London. That's my story. Coming up.
A 10th person has died following injuries sustained at the Astroworld Festival in Houston. I'm Casey Stiegel. We've got the latest coming up from Texas.
Sharp food for
Joplin City Council tonight established a citizens committee to help with a bond issue deciding the future of Memorial Hall. Voters will decide on the bond issue in April. If passed, it would fund reconstruction, renovation, and improvements to Memorial Hall. The Citizens Committee will help spread information about how the bond will be used. Now, if the council also voted to end, in separate issues tonight, the council also voted to end the city's pandemic response and recovery plan, which was established early in this pandemic, as many of us remember. Council members said they feel comfortable dealing with whatever comes next. The death toll from this month's Astroworld Festival continues to rise. The concert's organizer and headliner face dozens of lawsuits. Fox News senior correspondent Casey Stiegel has more.
The crowd surge during a concert earlier this month at Astroworld in Houston has now claimed its 10th life. 9-year-old Ezra Blunt, the youngest of the victims, passed away over the weekend. He had been hospitalized since the November 5th concert. Attorney Ben Crump says the family is, quote, grieving the incomprehensible loss of their son. This should not have been the outcome of taking their son to a concert, what should have been a joyful celebration. Ezra was placed on life support following the stampede. He was on his father's shoulders at the time at the back of the crowd, but the rush of concert goers caused him to fall to the ground and he was trampled.
We just want there to be accountability and transparency of who did what and why they didn't do their job.
More than 100 lawsuits have been filed targeting the concert's organizer, Live Nation, and its headliner, rapper Travis Scott. Houston Fire Department logs show people rushed gates and fences at the venue before the show even started. One concertgoer describes the crowd surge as horrifying, adding they were fenced in on 3 sides with barricades.
The only entrance and exit was that a place that wasn't barricaded, and that kind of became like a choke point as you had people inside that were panicking and freaking out, and then realizing that they were suffocating.
Travis Scott's attorney says the rapper didn't know his own concert had been categorized a mass casualty event until the next morning. That's the latest from Dallas. Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
So the semiconductor shortage all of us have been hearing about having a chilling effect over at GM now. The automaker says it's removing the heated seat option from several 2022 models to help conserve its supply of semiconductor chips for more critical components and increase the number of complete vehicles it's able to produce. The Chevrolet Colorado, Blazer, Silverado, along with the GMC Canyon, Terrain, and Sierra are among the affected vehicles. The luxury Silverado and Traverse High Country and GMC Sierra and Acadia Denali will still offer heated seats, however. According to a recent survey by Auto Pacific, heated seats are the most wanted feature among car buyers, with 60% saying they are a must-have. And as you get older, they're for Different reasons, not just to keep warm, but for the sore muscles too, right? Well, the heroic efforts of a British cab driver are being credited with saving lives during a deadly terror attack on Sunday. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Pelcott has more now from London.
Police are out in full force throughout the UK following an explosion that officials say was a terror attack. It happened on Sunday just outside a hospital in the city of Liverpool. A man was picked up by a taxi and after a 10-minute drive set off an improvised explosive device in the back seat. The man was killed. The driver of the taxi injured, but he's being hailed as a hero after locking the doors so the bomber couldn't get out.
It explodes into flames and the entrance to the hospital's 15 feet away. Shocked me to the core, you know.
4 other men have been arrested. Police say they're associates of the man who set off the bomb, but it's still not clear what motivated the attack. Officials say they're considering the possibility that it was connected to Remembrance Sunday. That's when people across the UK hold ceremonies honoring fallen service members.
We are, of course, aware that there were remembrance events just a short distance away from the hospital and that the ignition occurred shortly before 11 a.m.
As the investigation ramps up, the terror threat system here has been raised to its second highest level, meaning the threat of another attack is, quote, severe. Prime Minister Boris Johnson condemning the bombing and promising a swift response.
The British people will never be cowed by terrorism. We will never give in to those who seek to divide us with senseless acts of violence.
There have now been 2 terror attacks here in the last 2 months. A lawmaker was also stabbed to death by an ISIS supporter in October. In London, Greg Pelcott, Fox News.
A bit later, a look at the growing popularity of vegan restaurants.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Monday for us today. We have plenty of sunshine. Temperatures great as we warmed up right around 70 degrees during the afternoon. Quite a bit of sunshine and about 10 degrees warmer than what we should be for this time of the year. Great time lapse, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo just outside at Seneca, Missouri. All right, cold front on Wednesday. This is going to give us some showers and also cool us down. We're going to do the winter forecast on December 2nd, so a couple weeks away. And then Thursday night, early Friday morning, from about midnight to about 6 a.m., if you want to go outside, you can see a partial lunar eclipse, which we should have pretty much clear skies. So that's good news for that. All right, 50s yesterday, 50s over the weekend. Then we shot near 70 for us today, which is a pretty big increase across the region. And still, we look pretty good. We're at 53 in Chanute, 50 in Miami, 54 in Pittsburgh, Neosho at 52. I think most of us will kind of hover near 50 later on tonight. Kind of a light southerly wind at about 5 to 10, but that keeps our temperatures up just a bit and also is going to help us warm right back up during the daytime hours for us tomorrow. 57 south winds at 10, humidities at 59%. Not a lot going on here. We have some mid and upper level clouds which have been streaming through. Besides that, we look pretty good. The entire Central Plains, pretty quiet. Let's go out to the west. Here's our next storm system. This system is going to ride into the northern parts of the Rockies and then drop in by the time we head into Wednesday. Most of the energy is going to stay to our north, but it is still going to drag through a cold front and really cool us down the second half of the week. Tonight's going to be fine, near 50. We'll get some clouds increasing tomorrow, but a quick warm up near 70 by noon. And I think most of us will go mid 70s during the afternoon. Here's your forecast, 50 to start, 69 by noon, high temp 74, south winds at about 5 to 15. At times they may gust 20, upwards to about 25, but a little breezy for us tomorrow. Clouds increase tomorrow night. We should stay dry, but look at our cold front. This is early Wednesday morning. Sliding in, a little line of showers, very light showers, sliding through late morning into the early afternoon, and our temperatures start to take a tumble. So we'll be in the 60s prior to the front, and then we'll drop down into the 40s by the time the evening hours roll around. Clouds stick around Wednesday evening. We clear out Wednesday night. Now we bottom out near freezing by the time Thursday morning rolls around. So kind of cool on Thursday, kind of chilly on Friday. By Friday afternoon, we start to get southerly winds back, and that's going to help us warm back into the 60s by the time we head into the weekend, but also some rain chances late Saturday into Sunday. 74 tomorrow, 66 Wednesday, a chilly 50 on Thursday, and back to 57 on Friday.
Roller coaster is kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's kind of how it is this time of the year. Yeah.
Doug Heddy, thank you so much. All right, coming up in sports, a set of twins in Pittsburgh signed to continue their softball careers together in college. Now, a Pittsburgh high school graduate is helping the girls' wrestling team on the first day of the season. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Winchester.
Today is a big day for St. Mary's Colgan seniors Allie and Ashley Marietta. The twins signed this afternoon to continue their softball careers in college. The best part is they're going to stay teammates. Allie and Ashley signed today to head to St. Louis University and join the softball program. Allie is an all-state catcher, Ashley an all-state outfielder. Now, it wasn't always the plan to go to the same place, but it worked out, and they're both excited to continue their softball journey together.
As our journey progressed, we decided that it would be best for both our academic and our softball careers to stay together, and I'm really happy that we are going together.
We kind of said that we were going to explore the options that were presented to us, and ultimately, yes, we wanted to go together, but if we were led in different paths, we were willing to explore other options to make sure that we both got the best fit. As we went through our recruiting process more and more, we realized that we did want to be together, and then St. Louis, it all just fell into place.
It means a lot just because we motivate each other, we push each other, and I think as far as both on the field and off the field, we're going to push each other to be our best every day.
At Thomas Jefferson and Joplin, couple cool signings today. Olivia Beard signs to play softball this afternoon at Western Illinois. Caden Myers signs to join the Drury baseball program in Springfield. That's a cool opportunity for both, given Thomas Jefferson doesn't currently have baseball and softball programs.
That's pretty amazing. I'm the first D1 athlete at TJ, and I think that's pretty cool, saying that it's a sport that we don't even offer. And to get this opportunity to be able to do this is pretty awesome.
It means a lot, like obviously this doesn't happen every day, and it's an honor to be the first baseball from this school, and I mean it's just really cool because not a lot of people or nobody has done it.
Well, today is the first day of practice for winter high school sports in Kansas. For the Pittsburgh High School girls wrestling team, their season started today with a bit of a special delivery. Now, the PHS girls have an official shoe sponsor in their second year as a program. Yes Athletics is that sponsor and delivered wrestling shoes to the program this afternoon. Now, here's why that's cool. Yes Athletics founder Deb North is a Pittsburgh High School graduate who started the company to help fill the equipment gap for girls participating in traditionally male-dominated sports.
Thanks to a very generous donor that's in my era. I'm a 1989 PHS grad. He donated the funds to be able to outfit the girls with shoes. This is a great school, great program. LC is the best in the business, so it's an honor to be able to work with the school.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome to see the growth in the sport. Like I said, last year we had 4 girls out, and we got about 14 girls out this year, so we're growing and getting the numbers out, and now getting support from former alumni. It's just awesome.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Nominate your...
Vegan restaurants are growing in popularity. Now, forget the bland tofu and limp vegetables of the past. These days, menus catering to those who don't eat foods that come from animals can be diverse and delicious. Reporter Wendy Gillette explores this trend in New York City.
Zila Caldillo is cooking asiento tacos, usually made with pork fat. But she's an executive chef at a vegan restaurant. Her tacos and all the other dishes on the menu at Ateria in New York City have no meat or cheese. The bold Mexican flavors come from substitutions and substantial seasoning.
Lots of salt, lots of oil. If I'm being honest, lots of salt and lots of oil. But I feel like fruits and vegetables are already really good. It's just about finding the right balance.
What do you want to do for Dias de los Muertos?
Ravi DeRossi owns Ateria. He has helped pioneer new, more experimental vegan restaurants.
I think nowadays chefs look at vegan food almost like artists look at a canvas.
DeRossi owns a total of 10 restaurants, all of them in New York City, and all of them vegan.
I think there are 3 reasons why vegan food is so popular right now. Health reasons, climate change issues, and animal rights issues.
Some of the world's highest rated restaurants are leading the trend. This year, Michelin Guide judges awarded stars to 57 vegetarian restaurants and 24 vegan restaurants. They include New York's 11 Madison Park, which kept 3 stars when it relaunched this past summer as a vegan restaurant. Atelier Crème in San Francisco was also awarded 3 stars after going meatless in 2019. In DeRossi's vegan empire, Chef Shinari Freeman creates dishes like southern fried lasagna for the soul food restaurant Cadence. At the Italian restaurant Soda Club, Chef Amira Garib ditches eggs and cheese for her gnocchi with pesto sauce.
You can do anything vegan.
Which means an expanding palate for the millions of Americans who have embraced the diet.
A 2020 study estimates more than 9.5 million Americans are vegan. That's around 3% of the population, by the way. All right, a check of the entertainment coming up this week on Fox when we come back. This week on Fox includes a special episode of Our Kind of People, directed by one of its stars, plus the singing competitions heat up. We got more action for you. Once again, here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Alter egos take on the next round of competition. Here's what's hot on Fox.
Look out!
First on 911 Monday, the team races to save lives after an explosion at a hospital where a surgery is underway.
Yes.
Mike and I want to get married. Then on The Big Leap, the spotlight is on love as Paula and Mike take a big step in their relationship.
Of my son.
Tuesday starts with The Resident, where AJ's mom ends up back in the Chastain Hospital ER.
What is wrong with you?
Then on Our Kind of People, it's an episode directed by series star Joe Morton. The family gathers around Teddy after a health crisis, and Angela and Leah bond over a common enemy. Wednesday on The Masked Singer, it's the Group B semifinals, with Cheryl Hines as a guest panelist on another double elimination night.
She say.
That's followed by part 1 of the Alter Ego semifinals. Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum, has the Atlanta Falcons versus the New England Patriots. Fox Sports continues the week with WWE Friday Night SmackDown.
I can't believe she's gone.
And in a look at new series on the way, we get a peek at Pivoting. The comedy stars Eliza Coupe, Jennifer Goodwin, and Maggie Q as a tight-knit group who lose a friend, inspiring them to embrace new paths in life, albeit with some questionable decisions.
I'm so sorry.
Pivoting premieres this January here on Fox. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you with video of newborn lion triplets just unveiled to the public in Germany. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.